What's the deal, yo? What's the deal, yo? What's the scenario? Hey, T Squad, it's me, Keisha, and I am here with tonight's Couple Retreat Season 2, Episode 5 review. Remember, this Friday at 6 p.m. Central Time will be my interview with Tasha Lyons from Love and Marriage DC, where she will be spilling all the behind the scenes tea on what we've seen thus far this season. And my Keisha Capsule collection with Pretty Girl Parlor Curvy tickets on the way, so get ready for the unveiling. But let's get into tonight's episode. So we start off with seeing Claudia surprise, what's this man name? KJ, I believe that's that man name, for his 45th birthday. I gotta say, he looks damn good to be 45. Like, he looks young as hell. He looked like he could at least be about 35, 36. He looks really damn good. So she surprises him with mimosas and lingerie and stuff, and she looks really beautiful. And he was like, I wish I could get woken up like this every day, shit. And so, she's basically like, she wants to see if she can, revive their sex life. All she got planned for them is eating and fucking, eating and fucking. But he kind of gave her a look when she slid in the bed next to him, like, okay, back your ass up. They heard Jess the night before going off on Danny whack ass and wonder like what it's gonna be like for them that day. So the ladies got together and they planned a sexy, flirty scavenger hunt for their guys. And if they get the questions right, they get flowers. If they get it wrong, they get a clown. All the girls gather for breakfast to talk, but I noticed that Jess is the one that is missing from the group. By the way, I loved Ajua's outfit in this scene. I just loved it. It gave me like that West Coast vibe, but it was very chic and fashionable. I was digging it. Jess has a one-on-one with AJ, and she discusses what happened between her and Danny the previous night and how she couldn't even sleep next to him and how she had to leave the room. And AJ is shocked. She didn't know any of this happened. And Jess was like, yeah, I just had to leave the room. I couldn't even sleep next to him. I know that Claudia and KJ heard me. She was like, it was just bad. And AJ was like, why did you feel like you needed to leave the room? She was like, because she basically felt like she didn't like the fact that he called her selfish. And AJ basically was like, your soul is telling you what you need to do. Now, she was like, notice I ain't saying your heart, I'm saying your soul. Because your heart will be like, no, just wait it out, give him one more chance. But your soul is like, bitch, where is the moving truck? Let's get the fuck out of here ASAP. And Jess is crying and everything. And AJ asked her, does she feel loved by Danny? And she was like, no, I don't think that he loves me. She was like, do you choose to love him? And she was like, yeah, I want to love him. Yeah, I do. And so she was like, well, what you gonna do then, girl? Like, what you gonna do, sis? She was like, I'm gonna have a conversation with him, She was like, because things have not changed and they need to change at this point. And I just feel like, once again, she's prolonging the inevitable. I wouldn't even try. Like, what's the point of having a conversation? This nigga done showed you who he was 50 million times. Like, no, ain't no more talking. Like, why should you even be the one to initiate a conversation at this point? Like, he don't love you. You've already said that. He doesn't listen to you. He's disrespectful. He embarrasses you. Like, so what is the point? Like, really, what is the point? And you can see the insecurities within her as she's talking. You know what I'm saying? No matter how many BBLs and things that she gets, you can still see the little girl in her that just wants somebody to love her and like her. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like she's accepting anything from anybody pretty much just to say she got somebody, and it ain't that damn deep nor serious. You gotta love you fully and truly and wholly, and when you get to that point, you wouldn't even entertain a motherfucker like him. So Claudia tells the girls about what she heard in Jess' room, how she heard slamming and bumping and arguing, yelling, and maybe even some fighting. And they like, no. She's like, yeah, girl, for real, real true tea. And so they basically were like, they just feel bad for Jess and that they just want to make sure she's okay. And then the topic of Michael and Rada comes up, and Claudia tells Rada that when she asked Michael the night before if Rada ever gave you an ultimatum of her or the side chicks, what would you do? And Rada was like, what'd he say? And she was like, he said that he would get rid of you. And Shamari co-signed it because she was there. And so in her confessional, Rada says that, she's embarrassed and everything. She can't believe he said that. But she trying to keep her cool in front of the girls or whatever, but she feels stupid and embarrassed. And then she was like, but sometimes he has diarrhea of the mouth. I'm like, girl, you keep on making excuses for this nigga. How many ways, how many times he got to tell you, show you what it is? Like, he like you, but it ain't like that. Like, he wants to have this lifestyle that he just refuses to get rid of, and you keep on trying to find every reason in the book to stay. Just stay and just shut the fuck up and let that man cheat in peace, because it's obvious you're not going nowhere. And at the same token, she also tells the girls that she want to, sit down and have a conversation with him so she can get down to the bottom of it, because he needs to let her know so then she can make her own decision. Why do you have to wait on him to let you know anything? Make your own motherfucking decision. Girl, she getting on my goddamn nerves. Don't bring their asses back on this goddamn show no more. Guys then come out to show the ladies how well they did on the scavenger hunt. And Michael comes out dressed like he about to go bungee jumping. And I'm looking at the television screen like, Rada, this who the fuck you over here fiending over? Last week he was dressed like a bellhop. This week he dressed like he going bungee jumping. Like he about to jump out a goddamn plane. Girl, get your priorities together. So the guys are wondering where Jess and Daniel are. And they get to talking about Daniel and trying to figure out, like, what is this dude's motive? Like, what he got going on? And KJ was like, he, treat her bad. He treat her like she a side chick. And Claudia was like, he need to grow up. And as soon as they get to talking about him, her walks Danny. So he was like, what y'all talking about? And they was like, we were talking about your ass. And Claudia and KJ was like, yeah, we heard y'all fighting. And Claudia was like, yeah, we heard y'all fighting in the room. It was loud. He was like, no, you didn't. He was like, they both were like, yes, we did. He was like, no, you didn't. It wasn't no fighting. We were just talking loudly. And she was like, no, y'all was fighting. Like, y'all were yelling at each other. He was like, no, we wasn't. He was like, why you care? Why you all up in our business? You like to put extra on and make shit bigger than what it is. He was like, golly, like, mind your business. Stay out of our business. And he says in his confessional that Claudia been stirring the pot the whole time. And I'm like, she ain't stirring no pot. She just stating the obvious. And instead of admitting and owning up to how you treat this girl, you try to gaslight the situation like everybody lying on you. Like, even the dudes in the house looking at you like you crazy. Like, he just a clown. Like, I don't even understand why she even deal with this nigga. He's so motherfucking lame and whack. Like, I do not like him at all. Like, get your whack ass on somewhere. And he then goes on to say that he never meant to treat her maliciously, but he's just speaking his truth, and he can't help the way he feel. And, if that bother her. Child, Shamari burps. And looks at this man and say, that's what I feel about that. That shit was hilarious. That was funny as fuck. He talking about some, I don't care. You feel what you want to feel. And so Claudia was like, she just wants you to treat her nice. He was like, if I didn't treat her nice, we wouldn't be here. No, nigga, that's exactly why y'all here, because you don't treat her nice. And so Ronnie had to step in, and he was like, nah, because if you treated her nice, she would be here right now. Like, literally right here, right now. He was like, and you need to understand it. And like, I'm like, even the dudes is trying to tell this nigga what it is, but he just let the shit go on one ear and out the other. You can't even tell this nigga shit. It's obvious that he don't fuck with her on that level. So if you don't fuck with her on that level, why the fuck are you here? Then Jess makes her appearance, and everybody like, oh, hey, girl. And so she feeling awkward because it's obvious that they've been talking about her. All eyes are on her. And she walks over to Danny and give him a little quick hug. And everybody peeping that she just acting like nothing ever happened. So Danny points out that he was like, they heard us arguing. They said they heard physical commotion. And she was like, yeah, we did get into it or whatever. And so basically at this point, Claudia gets to speaking for her and telling him, what she thinks that Jess wants from him. And so Jess was like, you know what? Let me actually do my homework and tell this man how I feel. So she stands up and tells him that she doesn't like the way he dishonors her and disregards her feelings, and how it comes across like he don't care, and how it really bothers her and hurts her. When she get done talking, this nigga got a grin on his face looking like, huh? It's like, what? So just sit back down. Everybody just looking at him. He just sitting there looking like he's stuck on stupid. And Ronnie was like, okay, so Danny, what did you just hear her say? Repeat back what you heard her say. He was like, I heard that I dishonor her and that I don't treat her well, which I do, or something like that. And Shamar was like, just repeat back what she said. You don't have to add in, well, this is what I do and I do this. It's called reactive listening. Just repeat back what you heard her say. He was like, well, I heard her say that she felt unhonored. Shamar was like, dishonored. And so Ronnie up her rubbing her shoulder like, babe, calm down, because I don't want to have to fuck this little nigga up. Like, calm down. But the girls outside of Ajwa and Rada are sick of this nigga. I'm sick of this nigga. Like, I do not like him. And so he gonna talk about some, I'm a work in process. Nigga, it's a work in progress. You hooked on phonics. I don't like this man, Jess. I don't even care for Jess Hilarious as far as a comedian. I don't really think she's funny. I'm proud of her success and what she's done with her life and what she's done for her career and her child. But girl, you can do better. Like, girl, you could do bad all by yourself. And Jess even goes on to tell him that, you always saying what you've been through in the last 11 years, your relationship, your job, your child. But I go through the same stuff. Like, everything just ain't about you and your process and what you got to do and how you need to move forward. Like, involve me in that too. Consider my circumstances. But girl, fuck that nigga. So then Rada was like, okay, now it's time for me to put my shit out on the table. She confronts Michael on what he said to the girls about he would give her up for the side chicks. And he was like, no, I didn't say that. I said I probably would have to let her go because she knew what it was when we got together, so I could be me. It would be for me. It wouldn't be for no side chicks. And she was like, motherfucker, that's the same thing. Like, nigga, do you need a surgeon to rewire your brain? Like, make it make sense. That's exactly what you're saying. So she was like, at this point, I just might need to reevaluate our relationship. And I'm like, ain't no Mike, girl. It ain't nothing to evaluate. What is wrong with these people? So AJ has all the ladies dressed up in sexy lingerie because she wants to show them how to basically prime and prepare their man for a night of intimacy and how it starts before the actual sexual act. And the men are doing the same thing, but they're doing it with the chef, and the chef is teaching them how to prepare meals that will help their sexual libido. So the girls get to take in sexy photos and stuff with the guys. Everybody's taking photos except for Rada. She just ain't into it right now because she ain't feeling Michael. And Claudia isn't there right now because she's working. And I must say, Jess BBL, everything, that body is snatched. Her breast implants, the booty, everything was coagulating. Great shape. Must give that to her. She looked fantastic in her lingerie. Rada looked cute from what I saw. Shamari looked really cute, but Shamari started drinking and burping and shit. I'm like, girl, that shit is not attractive, all that burping shit. But she started drinking already. And you remember on the Real Housewives of Atlanta, when she get to drinking, shit get to going left. So it's obvious that she one of them people that when she get liquored up, she can't control herself, and that's going to ruin her and Ronnie's night. Ajwa looked really pretty, but she was more conservative with hers or whatever, but she loosened up. So they sent the guys their sexy pictures, and the guys is like, oh shit, like, oh yeah, like everybody is super excited about receiving their pictures, but the only person that didn't get a picture, of course, is Michael. So he feeling some type of way that everybody else got a picture except for him. And I was like, nigga, you get enough pictures. pictures. You out here fucking all these bitches. You don't need no goddamn picture. Claudia then joins the lady. She looks fantastic. She takes her sexy photo for KJ. He gets it. He's over the moon, excited. All the guys is ready to, get with their ladies and have a great sexy night. AJ asks Jess, how she's feeling, because she on her phone just a skinning and grinning. And she was like, I'm feeling good. We over here, talking a little nasty with each other. And AJ was like, your 24 hours have been something, girl. Really, how are you feeling? And Jess was like, I've never sent him, sexy photos or a naked picture or whatever all this time we've been together. And he's always so emotionless, but he's actually into it and complimenting me, and it made me feel good. And she was like, I really feel like the talk that I had with him worked. I don't know if it necessarily worked. You know what I'm saying? Actions speak louder than words to me. And I'm like, of course he gonna be excited that you sending him, sexy pics, but a man gonna fuck you all day long, but that don't mean he's going to commit to you or love you. So I wouldn't have been that gassed over it. I mean, but like I said, I feel like Jess still lacks self-esteem within herself. So we'll see where this situation gonna go, child. Oh, and KJ says he's never even saw Claudia be this sexy, taking photos and stuff like that. And I'm like, and then you wonder why this nigga don't want to fuck you. You ain't doing shit to get this nigga aroused. Claudia, step your pussy game up. So the couples get together to eat, and the ladies still have on their lingerie. All the guys are super into it. They present them with the meals and everything. And Danny is super into Jess, and she's just eating it up. And KJ is even into Claudia. Everything is going well except for over at Michael and Rada's table, because she is just not into it. She wants to go to bed. And he was like, so you basically just mad at the whole world. She was like, I'm not mad. I'm just feeling some type of way about what you told the girls. Why would you even say that to them? And he was like, what? They asked me a question. And she was like, but why would you even propose to me then in public at that, if that's how you feel? He was like, what? You knew what it was. He was like, are you mad that I said it, or are you mad because it's the truth? And I was like, ooh, shit. My mouth dropped. And I was like, but on some real tea, that's the truth. He has stood on what he's wanted this whole time, and he has not switched up. She needs to acknowledge the fact that she has been putting on a mask this whole time, pretending that she liked this lifestyle, when in reality, I feel like she thought, I'm going to do this for a while, and eventually he'll get over it, and he'll want me, and exclusively just me, and we'll be able to have this happily ever after. And it has not happened that way. So it's either she going to have to shit or get off the pot. Either you going to have to accept him and his lifestyle, or you're going to have to leave him and accept what you want, because he hasn't switched up anything. But maybe he made her believe with the proposal that there was a possibility with things changing. I don't know. So at the end of the conversation, Michael still stands on what he said, and he's sticking to it. And so she's like, never mind, it don't even matter. Yeah, it does matter. She's sitting up here eating off his plate. Girl, Rada, please go to bed. Please go to bed and wake up with some goddamn dignity, goddamn it. So all the couples, like I said, are enjoying themselves. Shamari is drunk at this point, and she all over in Jess and Danny's table, telling him, he better fuck her like this and fuck her like that, and she want to watch, and she said I could watch. And Ronnie is like, hey, pay attention over here. How many have you had? Chill out, focus on me. And Claudia gets up and straddles KJ, and they kissing and stuff, and she get to talking about her ass and how she wish she could smack it. And at that point, he is pissed off at this point, because all of these feelings that he thought he buried with her attraction for women are rising to the surface, because it's just disrespectful. You sitting in front of your husband. You already know about y'all past history, with you having feelings in a relationship with another woman and how that affected him. And like I said, once again, when Shamari drink too much, she get to acting a fool. And Ronnie at some point just had enough. He was like, hello. What the fuck is you doing? Why is you focusing on them? And what the fuck? He was like, chill the fuck out. And he got the fuck up and mean mugged the shit out of her and left that goddamn table. And I was like, oh, baby, I would have ran in behind him. I was like, come on, Ronnie. You know, because Ronnie, it seems like he's very even-tempered. It seemed like it take a lot for him to get annoyed. But baby, Shamari was sitting there looking stupid. Styles and Audrey was looking like, oh shit. Because like I said, you don't never see Ronnie get upset. So you know he was mad. But I found that shit sexy as ever. Styles then tells Shamari to get up and go follow him because hopefully she can salvage things. And she like, he left me sitting here by myself. So she take her drunk ass back inside and she looking for him, and he laid out on the couch and she was like, what'd I do? And he's trying to explain to her that, you know, the first time you made a comment about Just Ass, okay, cool. But then when you kept on going and going, like, enough is enough. Like, you supposed to be focusing on us. And she was like, I was just complimenting her outfit. He was like, nah. And in his confessional, he was like, if I was to sit up there and say, I'll fuck a girl like this and that and the third, she'd be pissed off, because that was basically what she was saying. Like, I'll fuck her and da-da-da-da-da. And she drunk, so she not hearing what he's saying to her. And she's saying that I'm a woman and this is just how we talk or whatever. And at this point, like I said, she's just defensive. And he was like, how about we just talk about this when cooler heads prevail? And she was like, I'm fine. He was like, no, you not, because you cursing and you don't even curse. And she was like, you taught me how to do this shit. You don't understand. And they just in a really bad place. And he was like, look, I'm done. Are you done? She was like, I'm done, E.T. Like, that was not the time to be calling this man E.T. Shamari. So Ronnie get up and walk the fuck away. And I felt bad for Ronnie. I really honestly did. And because, you know, Shamari was saying, you know, I don't even fuck with women. I don't fuck with women. No, I think that you try to suppress your desire for women to appease your marriage. But it's obvious that you still do have an attraction for other women. It's obvious that you do. But you love your husband, and y'all sweeping this shit under the rug. So that most definitely needs to be touched on while they're in couples therapy. Things are really heating up with Danny. He does not have a good relationship with Shamari, nor does he have a good relationship with Claudia. Shamari was getting on his nerves when they were having a couples dinner, because she was all over there at their table. He was like, can we, you know, have our private time? Like, the fuck? And Shamari was doing too much. But at the end of the day, I don't like Danny. I don't like the way he talks to the other women. And I don't like the fact that ain't none of these niggas checking him about the way that he getting smart with these girls, because they're all there to help each other out in their relationships. So it's not like they're not supposed to have opinions on each other's relationship. So I'm not understanding why Ronnie and KJ ain't checking this nigga. Like, because I most definitely don't like him, and I don't like his attitude towards the other girls. So overall, though, I give tonight's episode of Couples Retreat an A. It was a really good episode. Really, really good episode. Ryder at this point just need to pack it up and leave this nigga the fuck alone. Like, because it ain't no way that he gonna continue to tell you what it is and you just trying to find any excuse to stay. Anywho, let's talk down below in the comment section. Make sure to thumbs up this video, like and subscribe, and hit that notification bell button. I love you guys, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye.